Hi, I'm Dan Music, and I'm driving to Streamwood, Illinois on a snowy Saturday afternoon to fix a Genie garage door opener. This Genie opener doesn't act right, so I want you to see what it does as I activate it. I use my knife to bypass the push button because it's way over there, but I'm going to show you what it's doing. Notice it's shaking, runs a little bit. Now, it's dark in here, but as we run it up, notice it only goes up part way and stops. It stops on the way up. Now, one way to test this is to disengage it from the opener and to see if it will still run. Open it part way, and we'll see if the door will still run. We'll short it out. This opener has a problem. When I was trying to run it electrically, it just hums. It's trying to run, but it can't. Also, I was trying to, this trolley is disengaged. But even when it's disengaged, it won't go back and forth. So something is binding here. And I'm going to disconnect the trolley from the arm by removing this pin. Here's the problem. There's supposed to be a little clip in there that has come apart there. But that's the problem. That's why it's sticking. That's why the trolley's stuck. That's why the opener's not working. At this time, we're going to remove the opener. We'll take it down, take it apart, so we look a little more closely at the problem that it has. Remember that the problem we have is right here. So I'm going to pull these bolts out, pull the opener apart, and we're going to take a look at that. This uses 7/16 bolts and flange nuts on the other side. So pull this apart. The screw is binding inside the rail, and that's why it's having problems as having. That's why it doesn't lock. problem why it wouldn't work. You can see how that end is bent. Now these usually overlap, and there are some clips that fit over this. I'm going to try to straighten it, but it's probably going to break. Okay, so I've got these two pieces fitting together right now the way they should. And there are two clips that need to fit over that. One of them is this one right here. I want to take this back to the shop and see if I can get it to run. I've got the clips, I'll put it all back together, see if I can straighten this up. And if I can, we'll bring it back and reinstall it.
The reason the two pieces came apart and were damaged is this small piece. When the opener was assembled, this piece wasn't installed, and over time the collar slid back, allowing the two ends to separate and become damaged. If they have been damaged, you may need to file the edges of the junction in order for the collar to fit over both pieces. Once the collar is in place, take the retaining clip and attach it to the screw. Then slide the rail sections together and reattach the rail clamps. First, run the bolts through the holes on the ends, then hand tighten the nuts. Next, run the bolts through the middle holes and attach the nuts. Before fully tightening them, make sure the rails are in line, so that the screws will be straight and can run smoothly. Now, in our case, while trying to determine the problem, we accidentally cut the wire to the limit switch. If this happens, it's an easy problem to fix. First, mark the position of the limit switch using a marker before removing the switch. Then pull out the cut wire to reset it. Cut and strip the ends of the wire. Then twist the wire nut on, connecting the two wires. Then run the wire back through the groove in the rail. And reattach the limit switch. Checking to ensure the switch is not hitting the rail. Before testing the opener, check to see if the other screw joint has its retaining clip in place. To do this, attempt to slide the collar. If it moves, then the clip was not installed. As long as the two pieces haven't come apart and have not been damaged, inserting the clip is easy. Simply push the clip into the opening with a screwdriver. It has to be pushed in till it clicks twice. Then check that the collar will not slide. Then plug the opener in and test the operation. If it works, you're done.